This weekend, Beetlejuice opens in theaters. Is it better than the original? It's better than you might think. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, Colonels. Last night I got the chance to go see Beetlejuice, and I have a lot of good things to say, but real quick before we start this review, if you have not seen the movie, please save this video and then come back later because there are going to be some serious spoilers in this video. If you have seen the movie, then enjoy. Real quick before we dive in, if you are new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss a single review reaction. And if you don't subscribe, Beetlejuice will probably come after you. Not, anything to do with me, just he might. So the movie takes place years down the line when Lydia Deetz's father dies. It kind of is like the spark of this entire movie. It's what the whole thing kind of centers around. They kind of all get together again for his funeral. They all kind of go back to the house, they go back to the town. Jenna Ortega is Lydia Deetz's daughter. Astrid, I believe is her name. You kind of just see things get crazy from there. Twists, there's a lot of twists in this movie. And then they spend a good amount of time in the underworld. Let's just dive into a lot of the more detailed stuff. So one of the biggest things that happens is Astrid, Lydia's daughter, isn't really, she doesn't believe her mom that she is this ghost seer, that she can see ghosts, that she's interacted with ghosts. Lydia's husband or ex-husband has now died. He was like in the Amazon and something happened with his boat, and Lydia's daughter Astrid doesn't really like her mom because she always preferred the dad, and now she's at boarding school, but she's back because of the funeral, and it's very clear that she just does not like her mom. She's a very I don't believe it if I don't see it kind of mindset, right? Well, when she comes home for the funeral, she meets this boy. She crashes into their backyard and she meets this boy in the treehouse, and at first everything seems normal. He goes and she's like, oh, you want to come over for Halloween? She kind of likes him. He's like a cute boy kind of thing, right? And then they're kissing and he starts floating, and this is when she realizes that he is a ghost, and it's also the same time that we realize that yes, she can see ghosts. And personally, I think this reveal is done way better in this movie, because in the first one, it's a good reveal, but it's just like, oh, you can see us kind of thing, right? And I think this one takes you off your toes a little bit into just us believing that she might not be like her mom. And I think that's a really cool subvert of expectations. When the boy goes through his house, because he has parents, right? He never really focuses too much on them. They both have their backs and they're both doing stuff. His mom is in the kitchen baking. He goes, oh, she's just always baking, right? And then the dad is in the living room watching a TV show, right? But he's facing it. Well, eventually you find out that this boy is taking her to not the underworld, but where Beetlejuice lives, to essentially trade souls so that he can physically be in the real world, because he murdered his parents and then was hiding in his treehouse, and when the police found him, he fell out of the treehouse, died, and hasn't been able to leave his house since. And he is looking to get back into the murder spree is kind of what I'm picking up from this. It's a really cool plotline that was one of my favorites of the movie that is totally not advertised at all in the movie, and I think it's really cool. Going to one of the other plot lines that happen in this movie, Beetlejuice is on the run from his ex-lover Dolores, who is this soul eater. Even when they're in the world of the dead, she can suck the souls out of the dead people. They kind of build her up in this movie to be this very threatening villain, but then at the very end she just gets eaten by a sandworm. It's a little underwhelming. I would say it's probably one of the more underwhelming things about the movie, because there's really not many, but that was definitely one of them. Of course, the highlight here is Beetlejuice, and Michael Keaton is back to reprise his role as the crazy, weird, inappropriate dead guy. Going into some other little small things that happen, there is I didn't even know he was in the movie. Danny DeVito is in this movie for 5 minutes, and he plays a dead janitor who is just drinking bleach. And I feel like I have to say this just for reference. You shouldn't do that, because I know someone's gonna be like, oh, I want to be like Danny DeVito. No, please do not do that. That's not good. That's a bad thing. I am not encouraging you to do that. I just found it weird that like they included him for such a small role. One of my favorite parts of this movie was Willem Dafoe as Wolf Jackson, and he plays, so in the dead world, he plays like a cop, right? He's like a cop, but in his, when he was mortal, he was an actor. So he's an actor that died and is now a cop, and everything he do is like big and spectacular. It's really fun. I really enjoyed his presence in this movie. Kind of going with that, they definitely focus more on the world of the dead in this movie. Like, there's definitely points where it's like, okay, we'll focus on like the actual mortal world, but they dive a little bit deeper into, like, there's the Soul Train, there's a dry cleaner's place, and I really like that they focused more on the dead world. Like, it was just enough to like, okay, cool, like we're getting little bits and pieces that we didn't know about. This kind of goes with that, but I would say that this movie also had a bit of a better story than the original. I am a big fan of the original Beetlejuice. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal film. But there are parts in it where I'm like, okay, let's keep things going here a little bit. And I think this movie does that better than the original. Another cool twist that they have in the movie is that when they go to the dead world, you heard me mention that Astrid's, her dad, Lydia's husband, he died like the Amazon. Well, you actually find him because that kid that was like trying to trick Jenna Ortega's character, Astrid, he tries to get like this stamp to like get back to the real world, right? Like, yes, like the stamp and stuff, right? Because you know how this series has very big like theatrics, right? Well, he's actually the guy working there, and he has like piranhas like coming off of him and stuff. It's really cool, and he joins them kind of like midway into the movie to help them, and I thought that was really cool. The one thing, Delia is back in this movie, but by the end of the movie, she dies in a very silly way. She's trying to do this like funeral video for her husband. She buys these venomous snakes and is told that she has paid extra money so that the venom won't get, like, they've been defanged. Well, they have not been defanged, and she finds out soon after because she ends up dead. Finally, I just want to say that I know it might be an unpopular opinion. I know the original is beloved, and I love it too, but in terms of a movie, I think that this one just is a little bit better. I think I gave them both 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. I'll leave my review or my account. You can always check that out. But I just genuinely believe this is slightly a better movie. Not even a whole star ranking or half a star ranking more, just by a little bit, because it does some things better with the plot. But I think overall it is a slightly better movie. So let me know what you guys think. Are you going to see Beetlejuice this weekend? Or, you know, or did you already see it? Are you going to go see it again? Are you a big fan of the Beetlejuice, the original movie? I know I definitely am. Let me know down in the comments what you liked most about the movie. Especially like what surprised you the most. Like, did you not see coming? Because I know there are plenty of surprises in this movie. A lot of them certainly got me. I did not expect a lot of the things that happened. So let me know down all of that in the comments below. And be sure to check out my ranking when I make this month's ranking of all the movies that I've seen this month to see where this kind of fits on that list. Until then, guys, peace.